This is a part of my, this is a playlist from my morning act 1. I just got done dropping off my brother-in-law, Derek Roscoe is his name. He's doing audio on set for a production today. So he asked for a ride, and I agreed. I agreed to take him to the set. The setting, I believe set is short for setting. Everything is story. It's not just my voice. It's just true. William Shakespeare, if that name means anything to anyone out there. My paraphrase of his very powerful, very true words, and very poetic. The world is our stage, and we're all players. You know, action by action, setting by setting, production by production. We're just kind of in a sequence of moments, doing our very best to describe and document this experience. It's so funny, because this is like spa music. But I also like adding songs like this to a playlist. I have 5 that I'm working on in Apple Music. I also have many playlists that I've developed based on the theme of transcendence. The most transcendent, love songs, for example, or the most transcendent, greatest songs of all time, for example. I curate always. I'm curating at all times. I put the care in curation. I put the in co-creation. That's why my name is Co. This little vibe is a playlist that I turn on in the mornings. So being classically trained in music and spending the majority of my awoken life making music and writing songs and making melodies and playing instruments. You might want to know, you're like, what does a music composer, I'm a composer for a living, which isn't normal. I'm right here in Los Angeles, California, leading a set of production where my brother-in-law is working on set today. He's one of the producers, I think he's doing sound. And I am heading back to my little lair, my abode, my little creative command tower, where I'm going to be diving back in my process. In my process, specifically these days, I am writing and producing a mystery musical, as I like to call it. It's a mystery because it is one of my stories. And it's also a musical because that's what I do. So I've never written a musical before. I've written many, many, many songs. But I've never written a musical yet. But I'm in the middle of that process right now. It is a lot of work. And by work, I mean I spend hundreds and thousands of hours writing with both of my hands, by the way. Typing and texting. In the story development process, story writing what is wrong, or writing what should be right. When you're writing, that's writing. And I have, in my process of writing, I have multiple colors of paints, multiple journals, like 7 or 8 different journals that I'm writing in equally. So I spend every day, not that I write in every journal every single day, but I make entries into my journals, plural, every day. So to any of you, I'd love to know if any of you have been practicing journaling or writing. The physical example of documenting your process, which is what writing is all about. Now, if you are completely a slave tethered into the grid, that means that I'm a writer and I type all the time. You're a story typer. You're a type of writer, but not quite a writer. If everything that you've ever made is digitized or it's in some sort of hard drive and you need to like plug in a machine in order to see it, I think you've got some work to do. I'm just saying, if you want to enter the ring of being a writer, if you want to be a narrator, for example, you have to be able to tell the story. There's no way you can tell the story like I'm doing now if I hadn't already written it down at some point. Writing it down solidifies because you have to concentrate on every letter. Try to have ADD while you're writing in cursive and writing in different colors programmed based on number patterns and color patterns and letter patterns. Yeah, that's not possible. So I think in general, our generation, throwing myself in there, is just lazy. We're just really lazy. People complain about things and they don't even realize how capable that they are. They just start complaining and they don't even really know. They haven't even explored what's possible. Before you close off a possibility, you should most certainly consider all possibilities at all times. Before you close possibilities, all things are possible at all times. That's something that's a posture. That's a posture that you take as just a human being, individual. It says all things are possible at all times. Now, as a mind, as an individual, I also realize my capability to be making choices and solving problems. Critical and creative. We're a walking battery of two opposing energies. We are this and that. We are yin and yang, blue pill and red pill. Our mind is made up of a binary machine. This brain, two brains. I have a critical and a creative brain. Maybe I mixed them around. But you just have to understand that. Like a car battery. I'm driving a car right now. It is a negative blue sign, symbol, and then it's a positive red, the red X, or the red cross or whatever. Red cross, like the insurance company. So, if you can apply that, the law of two, you can understand your own self and look in the mirror. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. And I'm looking at you, Corey James Ferrugia. I'm looking at you right now. And then your reflection is mirrored back into your eyes. So you are looking deep into your eyes. Deep into your depth of being. Into your height of seeing. You are the man in the mirror right now. You are asking him to change his ways. No message could be any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and then make that change. I think that's one of the greatest songs of all time because I think about it and I talk about it almost every single day. You know that slate of shows on Netflix that's called Black Mirror? Did you know that it's about the concept, the whole slate of content. Charlie Brooker is the name of the amazing writer. One writer that gets the credit, by the way, for that entire amazing show. And it's like, they're not quite full feature movies, but they're not quite short films. They're like mini movies, but they're all different. It's not like House of Cards where every episode is serial or episodal in nature, meaning they precede each other. One precedes the next, and they all collectively tell a greater story. Well, Black Mirror is not like that, but it's all based on when your phone goes dark and you look at that Black Mirror on your phone, what do you see? Well, when it's on, he tells stories so far. He takes that concept of how far we as humans and these little digital tethered devices that we keep so glued to ourselves called cell phones. Man, the Black Mirror is when it goes dark. Isn't that crazy? That's what that's about. From my knowledge, for whatever that's worth to you, even if that's not necessarily true, I think it's a great paraphrase or that's my take on it anyway. So that's kind of why I like to wear glasses. I was named after Corey Hart. So I wear my sunglasses at night and I wear them during the day. Especially when it's sunny out here in Southern California. Right now I've got a playlist that I've been curating actively. Every day I'm actively curating my playlist. That's why you will hear nice music to my content that I make on Instagram right here, and also other places that I upload content like YouTube. I've got a channel if you want to check that out. I have a Snapchat feed. It's similar to what I do on Instagram, but I've got a process that allows me to put different content, and I'm going to be incorporating my Facebook stories soon to where there'll be 3 stories each day, but all kind of like, interconnected. So I'm working on it. There's a lot of mathematics that go into what I have been doing online. It's hilarious for me. I just want to put this on record. In a very meditative state and a calm state, I've got to say, to all of those out there that are still confused about what I'm doing online, it's by design. Just because you don't know what I'm doing doesn't mean I don't know what I'm doing, dummies. That's what I want to say to some people who have, through the grapevine, it's been brought to my knowledge, and I see it here a lot more than people think. I only follow my wife on the internet on Instagram. You'll see I follow one. I do that on purpose as a form of communication, to let people know what I have the time to focus on. So if you're offended that why I don't quote unquote follow you, it's because I literally don't follow you. It's not because of any other reason that I am a literal person. And when I hear people, no offense to anyone out there, but when I hear people like, literally, I'm like, you do not know what that word means. To 99% of people that say it, I'm like, you do not know what that word means, or you wouldn't be saying it so carelessly. My gift to you is made of words and melodies, combined letters of the alphabet. I often use them carelessly without much thought, and yet words are a very private thing. My words are a part of me. Words are a window to my soul, through which eyes let you see. Every day is a story, people. Every day is your story. How are you documenting the process? How are you curating the music that is to be set to your picture? With a little JBL speaker that I have attached to my hip, oftentimes, man, I can take the show on the road. I can play my own music when prompted to do so, but I've got my playlist pretty well dialed in for life. I curate for life. Hashtag curate for life. Because it's your life. And how much more inspired could you be if you had music that you intentionally curated so that you could just have a playlist that you could just start shuffling, knowing that that mode of music, that modality of music could very beautifully and very appropriately build the backdrop sonically for your setting, whatever it is that you're about to experience, the activities to follow, so that the audience watching you is eagerly anticipating the activities to follow. If you were operating your life and your narrative and your script in such a way that you were aware that you are writing history in every sense of the word, you realize the Word of God is when we become it. We are becoming the Word. We are the Word of God. What word are we talking about? What words are we talking about? Hey, there's my wife. Hey, honey, check this out. I was able to put my morning meditative mode of music in the background where I just dropped off Derek. I think I left you, I don't know if you got my voice message, who sends me hearts, who's so sweet. But I decided, I was like, oh my gosh, I could put on one of my playlists and it would help me talk. This is like an audio-visual podcast, my honey. You're hearing music, you're hearing me share my words, you're seeing a character, you know. Yes, it sounds intergalactical. Yeah, I love that word. I hope, this is my hope, and I just want to document this. My hope and prayer is that my followers of sorts, the people who would follow me on the internet, now and in the future, would be so kind to start engaging with me in this specific way. I love hearts. That is encouraging. The show gets better when you see hearts. And the songs I'm about to sing, when I get back to the house, I intend on doing 3 segments of this. Act 1 is what you're experiencing now. They're coming for me, I'm telling you. I tell my wife this, but she thinks I'm crazy. They're coming for me. Listen to this. So what I'm trying to say is that Act 1, I'm experimenting in all forms of what I'm calling an intentional influencer, fully integrated trend, social media mystery franchise game. That's what I'm branding. Hashtag intentional influencer, fully integrated trans social media mystery franchise game. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's a working title. But that's what I believe the human... Dude, did you just, reimagine the human experience? Dude! Did you just, rebrand how we are to think about ourselves? Basically, good question. Good observation, whoever you are out there that made that sort of observation. But I am experimenting daily with, here's my question. If I share a question, that means, and by the way, that's what I was getting at. I want my followers to ask only the best questions and use the best words, like sounds intergalactical. That kind of Inspiration is what I crave. I want the very best responses out of those who tune into my audio-visual broadcast podcast, which is what I would call this very episode right here. It's an audio-visual broadcast podcast. But it's digital. So it's not a terrestrial radio broadcast. Terrestrial, it's a weird word, terrestrial. Intergalactical, terrestrial, interterrestrial. All these weird words that people come up with. I'm like, it was another human being that decided to just like make it up. Like what I said. You know the way I would describe the human experience? It's an intentional influencer, fully integrated, trans social media mystery franchise game that could be licensed. You can rent my shit, you can rent my shit, and you can rent my shit. But nobody can own it except me. Own your story, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm yelling because I'm passionate. I'm a pent-up Pentecostal preacher. Spit fire and brimstone straight from the pulpit. All these funny words. I'm really convinced, if you haven't noticed, if you took phonetics and alliteration and blended them together, that is the world that I live in. It's simple. As ironic as this sounds, my wife and my mom, I said, listen, you both know how simple of a person I am. Things have to be simple to me, or I don't really give a shit about them. If it's not simple, it's not knowledge. So ironically, you can look at what I'm doing online, you could be like, wow, that sure is a lot. It's a lot. People tell me, they go, it's a lot. I go, and? It's a lot of information. It's a lot of discipline that it takes. What's my zodiac sign? Well, I was born on June 23rd, 1985. So I guess I'm a cusper. A Gemini Cancer is what I'm specifically classified as. I don't know much. I don't know much about all that. But I do pay attention to the stars. And I don't mean mainstream media. I'm talking about, I look up in the sky and I pay attention to patterns that are outward in my vision, and then I pay attention to patterns inward in my vision. I'm a very specific person, if you can't tell. I have friends that are like, Corey, you're really specific in what you do. It's a lot. I'm like, you know what I want to say to every person that goes, it's a lot? I go, what you do is a little. I want to be just as literal as them. You're acknowledging that what I do is a lot. I want to say to you, no, wow, you're specific. What I want to say is to the rest of the world is, you're not paying attention. You're not paying attention to things that matter. You're not paying attention to things that are important, like theology, history, science. More specifically, I would go a step further as far as science goes. I would just say music. I would just say music. Math. At the end of the day, music is math. Music is what math feels like. Somebody that knows as much about music as I do, meaning my experience, which is a lot. I can't compare it to anyone else. I can only think of my own experience. But when it comes down to, I don't know everything about everything, but when it comes down to music, I know a lot about music from experience. Period. Oh, happy belated. Good, a whole lot of passion. Yeah, you know it. Apparently, feel free to enlighten me. By the way, I turned 32 on June 23rd, 2017. It's my inverted golden birthday. I made that up. Just right up from the top of my head. Like, for example, I'm feeling an alpha quest enter into my brain. It's percolating. The synapses are starting to coagulate. I've got a question. who are the fewest amount of individuals with indivisible individuals that we believe that we can influence. With all of our love, with all of our mystical, musical, and miracle melody making, mythological, mathematical, methodical mastery of mystery in my town music, monasteries of majesty. It's a question. I call it an alpha quest. Sensual, intimate lover, communicator are just a few traits of associated with your zodiac. Did you look that up, or did you have that memorized? That's crazy. I love it. I appreciate you doing that. My wife would probably agree to all of those. Yes, sensual. No, I think there's a word like that shouldn't be perverted, like intimacy. We've really perverted everything with all the garbage that we flood the internet with. Sensual meaning like in the sense of the word, like senses, like all of your senses. So I have like essential oils I put on all the time. Like my smells are really important to me. Everything is really important to me when it comes to senses. So I am a sensual person for sure. Magic. Yeah, I married into magic. I am a magician, the son of a son-in-law of a magician. But not just any magician. This is a guy who trained with the father of magic. His name's Andre Cole. You should look him up. I'm waiting for you all to look up Andre Cole. Yeah, very intuitive. That's one thing I've got going for me for sure. My instincts and my intuition are off the charts. My wife is far more intuitive in strength. Like I say, my wife is Lynette Sine. My wife to intuition is what I am to instincts. Maybe instincts and intuition are similar. My hypothesis is this. Phonetically, and I like to put the fun in phonetics. Words that are common phonetically also, you can learn a lot more about a topic or something when you connect to all of the phonetics of the words. Like, what does that word feel like? What does it sound like? And then you can get more information when you say words. If you hear a word and you start paying attention to how other words sound like that word, you will start finding understanding that maybe you knew was there, but now when you speak it out loud, like all of the words you can think of. Actually, let's make this a game. What are all of the words that come to the top of your mind when I say words that start with co? Go. C-O. Co means together with, by the way, from an energy standpoint. What are all the words you can think of? What are the top three at the very least of the words that start with co? You guys like this music? It's off of my act, Everyone. It's off of Act 1 of co-write, good. So, co-produced. Yeah, so you're using it as like a hyphen in between. Yeah. I like my binary system that I live in is create and produce works. Oh yeah, by the way, you could say words that are already connected to cohabitate. You could say connection, connection. You could say collaboration, correction, coagulate. That's a weird word. But on and on you could go. So what I think of the phonetics of words that sound like, if you said bill, the word bill, that's a direct word, like in English. Bill of my hat, dollar bill, the bill of a duck, on and on you could go. I mean, there's this guy that I know, short for William, is Bill. So English is very interesting But when I think of phonetics, if you looked up that word and got a good definition of the word phonetics in your mind, if you were to follow along, to know the word phonetics would be to pay attention to my style of talking, my style of singing, and my style of writing more specifically. I am working on a mystery musical of a great magnitude right now. Of great magnitude in its reach. Cirque du Soleil level production. Co-create and produce is what I call it. Co-create. Co means together. Co means together with, and Ray means king, and that makes me a co-king. I am a co-king of everything, everyone under the sun. I am co-king. I am reimagining everything for everyone under the sun. Exploring of what could be if there was no you and there was no me. And there was just, we are the ones that we have been waiting for. 3, 2, 1. Everyone, this is the Everyone song. You are the Everyone story. And we are the We Frequency mystery song. We are singing it all of the day and all of the night long. This is the Awation Station, brought to you by the Everyone Tries tribe, all across the Everyone Tries nation. This is an elevation of co-creation, an interconnectionarity of connections in collaboration for the Awation Station. You know, that's really nice. This is the Awation Station. Right here, broadcasted by the 888th frequency. Do you hear what your eyes could see? What do you see when you open your mind and close your eyes? What do you realize? Surprise. Man, I'm just playing around with phonetics, so that was an example. I'm not crazy. Well, yeah, I am. That's crazy. But I am so grateful to be alive. I'm grateful to be awake. And I'm grateful to be fully paying attention to every critically creative detail. What about you? Tune in soon. I'm going to be playing some songs in Act 2. And you won't want to miss it. I've been preparing for moments like these pretty much my whole life, 32 years and some other days. What are all of the ways that you can think of to best document and describe your process? Who are the fewest amount of individuals that you believe could accomplish the most the fastest? What are all of the possibilities of who we could be if there was no you and there was no me? And there was just we. We were the ones that we were waiting for. 3, 2, 1. Everyone. This is the Everyone song.